Good morning, beloveds. Just noticing the interesting background. I have wolves above my head and a dragon over my shoulder. But, you know, it is what it is. It is May 12th. We have a storm rolling in. It got all, the clouds were really interesting last night, and it started that spit and rain, and then nothing happened. So we were just like, oh, well, okay. And I don't know what it's going to do today, but the high is going to be 73, and I'm really excited about that. And so I'm hoping that tomorrow, because tomorrow is a run day, today was weightlifting day, that it'll still be cool in the morning, because I definitely run better in the cooler weather. We're actually contemplating this season, or this summer, if it's above 80 on a run day, going for a bike ride instead of a run, because oh my goodness, when it's over 80 and you're trying to run, I'm not built for that. I'm not built for that. All right, it is May 12th. Our title is Today I Receive the Inheritance Which God Has Given Me. Our Bible quote is, "Thou shalt rejoice in all that thou puttest thine hands unto." And that is Deuteronomy 12:18. Affirmative prayer means that we clear the mind of all doubt and fear and turn in faith to the great river of the great giver of life. It means that we become aware of the presence of God within and around us, here and now. It means that we affirm this presence and accept it quietly, calmly, and peacefully in all its fullness. I now let go of every anxious thought. I now surrender any doubt or fear into the great heart of love. I look out upon the world and say, this is my world because it is God's world. I think of all people. These are my friends because they live and move and have their being in the Father of us all. I now receive confidence and inspiration from the source of all life. I believe that love is guiding me. I believe there is a divine power that goes before me and makes perfect my ways in joy and happiness. I believe this power is flowing through me to the joy and happiness of those around me. I have a faith, a conviction, and an assurance at the center of my being. I have a love which envelops everything I contact and every person I meet. I have a friend within me who knows all my needs. I accept the kingdom which God has given. I accept the life which He has implanted in me, and this life reaches out to everything around me in joy and gladness, with blessed assurance that all is well. Believing that God is love, I affirm that there is nothing in me that could hurt or harm or hinder those around me from entering into the fullness of their own joy, into the completeness of their self-expression, into the perfection of their own being. So, I like the line towards the end that I affirm that there is nothing in me that could hurt or harm or hinder those around me from entering into the fullness of their own joy. I don't ever want to be that person that kills somebody else's joy. I don't. It hurts my heart, and I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. I want people to be happy and joyful and to do what they love and to prosper, because I believe that there's enough for everybody. So, knowing the God within me, there's nothing in me to do that. I mean, occasionally I make mistakes and I say things wrong and then I apologize. So, but just the fact that I can know that there's nothing in me to do that in the first place, it's pretty cool. So today I receive the inheritance which God has given me. And that is about consciously accepting basically everything. It's consciously accepting that you are a child of God and that the world is the world that God has made. And yes, we are in relationship with other people, and yes, the world is messy, but it doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be. If we all start acting like the children of God that we are, it won't be. So I accept that I am a child of God. I accept that you are a child of God. And if you're not ready to accept that you're a child of God, I'll just hold the space for you until you are. And that's really all we can do. We can't change people and we can't fix people, and it's not our job. It's their job. It's, happiness is an inside job. But we can be there for them, and we can hold the space for them, and we can be our authentic little godling selves, and they can go, well, her life looks pretty good. What does she know that I don't know? I don't know what to do with Deuteronomy. Thou shalt rejoice in all that thou puttest thine hands unto. It's not the whole thing, because there are dots before and dots in the middle. So it's thou shalt rejoice, ... So there's something in there. So feel free to go look up Deuteronomy 12:18 and see what else he was talking about. As one of my teachers said, Reverend Norm, if you want to know what a Bible quote means, read the line before and the line after. Put it in context. Half of the problems that we have with reading the Bible is we take these quotes out of context and they don't mean what we think they mean. Which is Princess Bride. You do not think the word means what you think it means. Inconceivable. So, affirmative prayer means that we clear the mind of all doubt and fear and turn in faith to the great giver of life. And that's exactly what it means. For that moment when we are doing that prayer, we cast everything aside. We live wholly in the moment of God. We live wholly in the love of God, wholly in the power of God. And we let everything else, we set everything else aside. For that moment, when we do that prayer, we are at the center of God. And when we finish with the prayer, we let it go so that the law can take care of it, and we come back in and deal with what's going on around us. And we have doubts and we have fears. It doesn't mean that you're going to walk 24/7 with no fear and no doubt. It's not humanly possible. Now, we are spiritual beings having a human experience, which means we can reduce our doubt and fear. And that is practice. But for that moment, in that we are doing that prayer, we stand in the center of God and we let it all go. We let it all go. There is no room for doubt and fear in the center of God, because doubt and fear doesn't exist in God. It exists in us because of the way we use the law. But God doesn't know doubt and God doesn't know fear. So when we do that prayer, we stand in the center of God, we don't know doubt and fear. And the more practice we do, the less we'll have. It means that we become aware of the presence of God within and around us here and now. We stand in the center of God. And that's the cool thing. God is everywhere and nowhere all at once. So, the center of God is right where you are, and it's right where everyone else is too. It means that we affirm this presence and accept it quietly, calmly, and peacefully in its fullness. And that's one of those, how big is your cup of acceptance? How big is your cup of acceptance? I now let go of every anxious thought. I now surrender any doubt or fear into the great heart of love. And that's kind of that cool. That idea. It's like, all right, this is the greatest love. There is no love bigger than this. And if you can imagine the biggest love that you have ever loved or been loved, and then magnify it, there's no room for doubt and fear. So we let go of it for that moment. And we carry a little bit of that back with us. That fearlessness, that great love, That's why we go there. We go there, we fill up, we bring it back. I look out onto the world and say, this is my world because it's God's world. I think of all people, these are my friends because they live and move and have their being in the spirit of us all, the soul of us all, the God of us all. So it's like when I meet other people, the goal is to recognize that they're godlings just like me. They're children of God. They're children of God, no matter how they're behaving. Because sometimes we actually do behave as children of God, and sometimes we behave as adults of God. So, sometimes we behave as teenagers of God. I now receive confidence and inspiration from the source of all life. If you're going to get confidence and inspiration, why not get it from the source of all life? Why not go directly to the source? Why not go directly to Spirit and say, all right, I am ready. Lay it on me. Lay on me the confidence to do that which I am to do, and the inspiration to carry it out. Why not go to God for that? I believe that love is guiding me. I mean, if love is guiding you, kind of can't go wrong. I believe that there is a divine power that goes before me and makes perfect my ways in joys and happiness. I believe that this power is flowing through me to the joy and happiness of those around me. So I know that Spirit is flowing in me and through me and making my ways of joys and happiness. And I know that this power is flowing through me into the joy and happiness around me. So when people are joyous and happy around me, it's not necessarily because of me. It's because I'm letting Spirit flow through me. And that's why, it's not about me. So if I'm acting as a child of God, then people will be happy and joyful around me because I am carrying that great love. I am acting in that great love. And occasionally they're not, because that great love has said, yeah, you're okay with saying no there. But in the long run, a no will be happy. Even if in the moment it may not be. I have a faith, a conviction, and an assurance at the center of my being. That place where you meet the unfiltered God. I have a love that envelops everything I contact and every person I meet. I can love everyone I meet because the love isn't coming from me, it's coming through me. Do I like every person I meet? Probably not. But I can love every person I meet because that's not required of me. It's coming through me. If I do, then that's a bonus. I have a friend within me who knows all my needs. Have you ever thought about God as a friend? Well, now would be a good time if you haven't. I accept the kingdom which God has given. I accept the life which God has implanted in me, and this life reaches out to everything around me in joy and gladness, with a blessed assurance that all is well. So I'm accepting the life that God created me for. And I accept the ups and the downs and the work and the joy and the play and the pain. I accept all of that because what would life be if there was no change, if it was just one long meadow? It'd get really boring. So sometimes there are things that we do and they may not be fun. but we do them out of love, and we move into that life. We do that work so that we have that world that works for everyone. So that we have that joy and gladness that all is well for everyone. For everyone. Believing that God is love, I affirm that there is nothing in me that could hurt or harm or hinder those around me from entering into the fullness of their own joy, into the completeness of their self-expression, into the perfection of their own being. There's nothing in me, because what I am letting flow through me is the love of God. And sometimes there's nothing in me to hurt, harm, or hinder means that I remove myself from the situation. And that's okay too. Because sometimes that's just the best way to do it. All right. Our mission today, should we choose to accept it, is to surrender any doubt and fear and stand in the center of that great love in whatever it is that we're doing. In whatever it is that we're doing. So surrender the doubt, surrender the fear, stand in the center of that love, stand in the center of God. Know that right there within you is a center of God. Not the center, a center. Because you carry a center of God within you. You are a beloved child of God in whom God is well pleased, always and forever. This is our state of grace. So, as a center of God, as a child of God, as a godling, I encourage you to do something loving for yourself, do something kind for yourself, do something compassionate for yourself. Whatever that looks like. Absolutely whatever that looks like. Be it big or small. And do something to engage your mind and your body. Get some fresh air, drink some water. Take care of yourself. Love yourself. And love yourself with the love coming through you. Love yourself from that place of inexhaustible love, of inexhaustible power, of the well that is infinite, from a spirit that not only needs you here, but wants you here. So open the windows of your soul. Allow the breath of heaven to remind you do live in heaven now. It is all around us. It takes us seeing it, being willing to see it, to look for it. So the more we look for, the more we see, the more we see, the more there is, the closer we get to that world that works for everyone. As Emma says, look for the good and praise it. Look for the good and praise it. All right, beloveds, I'm going to move into the process of my day. I don't know what the weather's going to be, so y'all be safe. And take care of yourself. Have a wonderful day. And Reverend David will be on around 5 p.m. on Facebook Live with you. The Living of the Science of Mind book study, I believe, is still happening at 6 p.m. If you're interested in that, email info@creativelife.org and see about getting that link. And I'll be back with you on Facebook Live at 9 a.m. And as always, these are archived on the Running Rev YouTube channel. If you want to see anything that I've done in the last year, that's where you can go. All right, beloveds, have a wonderful day. I'll see you tomorrow. Know that you're loved.